I just want to get a reminder for everyone really quickly. The game you get at launch for Elden Ring, first of all, there's a day one patch, but day one patch aside, this is not the game you're going to be playing for like a year. Like, there are going to be more patches. There's going to be more patches. It's undeniable. There's going to be more patches, and you might like or not like these changes. Let me give you an example. In Dark Souls 3, there was a strong curved sword meta when the game released. Kartuf's curved sword was so freaking powerful compared to everything else. And believe it or not, even though like we're all sitting here and we're like, yeah, dude, good thing they fucking nerfed Kartus. They forgot to nerf fucking Pontiff and Murky though. Like, even though we were saying that, at the time, some people really liked the Kartus curved sword meta and really liked playing with Kartus, and they liked that Kartus was the best weapon. In fact, some players left Dark Souls 3 after they nerfed Kartus because they didn't like the change. So be careful with what kind of idea you adopt like going into Elden Ring when the game releases, because things might change, and things actually will change, especially PvP wise. PvE wise, I don't think it will change like too much, or I would really be surprised if it's like significant changes. But oh, I wasn't sure that was gonna hit. That's supposed to be a quick step dagger. Remember when Greatswords were kind of meh? I mean, if I'm being honest, like, to me, Greatswords are so overrated in Dark Souls 3. Like, people really think Greatswords are decent, and they're really not. Like, you have to be so much better than your opponent to make Greatsword work. Or you have to, like, you need to have an opponent that's so impatient. It's like either one or the other. And like, really, like, if I'm being completely honest, at a high level, I've never really seen anyone who can make Greatswords work beside Gabri and I. And right now, like on PC, I've seen some of the recent tournaments. Someone called Myers seemed to be getting the hang of it as well. But I mean, you really can count on like one hand the amount of players that can actually make a Greatsword work, not against a shit weapon, against something meta. So in that sense, like, I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, Greatswords and a lot of big weapons in Dark Souls 3 would have needed a bit more love, and maybe that's what we're getting in Elden Ring though. In Elden Ring, I'm seeing some things that might make it so that there's more like heavier weapons that can be used. Unfortunately though, in the network test, like, Greatswords was not one of them. Greatswords was so bad. They fucking did Greatsword dirty in the network test. I hope they fucking buff it a little bit, because it was absolutely laughable how bad Greatswords were in the network test. If you want to know the specifics as to why Greatswords were so bad in the network test, think of it this way. Greatswords got nerfed in a sense that they did not have eye armor anymore, and so you only had the passive poise that everything had. So like, there wasn't really much separating like a small class weapon from a Greatsword, except that Greatsword was just so much slower, didn't have the combos anymore. So when you trade with, like, say a straight sword with a Greatsword, you're barely like, you're winning the trade by like 20 damage at most. Whereas like in Dark Souls 3, if you trade a Greatsword with a straight sword, you're winning that trade by like a good like 350. So that was not the case anymore. So that's very important, and that made it so much worse for Greatswords. And to top it off, like, one of the few things that Greatsword had going for them skill-wise is the fact that you can dead angle your hit, which I'm gonna try to showcase against this guy if I can. The fact that you can dead angle your hits and get earlier hits with the Greatsword, and that's something that kind of elevated the skill ceiling of a Greatsword player, because Greatswords don't really have that much mix-ups going for them. Like, the only mix-ups you can do is like dead angling your attacks like that, And it's already very difficult, especially like say against someone running away like that. And so they removed the dead angle on top of that in Elden Ring. Oh wow, didn't know I had someone else. So all in all, they really did the Greatswords dirty. Like they were nerfed to the freaking ground, like useless. Like freaking useless type of nerf. I hope that they change it. And the fact that you can't really backstab reliably anymore, like Greatswords have always been one of the better backstab sticks. And now if you get backstabs, like why are you even freaking using a Greatsword in Elden Ring? That would be the question, just because it looks cool. So I hope that they buff the Greatswords a little bit. That's something that we all noticed in the network test, like you know, Gabri, Spect, Akrish, freaking everyone that I played the network test and tested stuff with, and we all noticed that the Greatswords was like nerfed like way too badly. And I could say the same about maces. Maces have never been really good in Dark Souls 3 either. And in the network test, like losing eye armor, it's like you're basically making all of these weapons like worst straight swords. That's really what it was. Backstab will be fixed along with weapon combos. I'm not sure what you refer to as with weapon combos, but I do believe that they're gonna address backstabs one way or another. How though? Like what are they gonna do with them? I don't know. But one way or another it's gonna change. Like I don't see backstab staying like that, because when you get the backstab that looks like it doesn't work, that's an issue. Getting ready to finish the host if needed. If you had tier, of course. Like to this day, like 5 years later, it's like Dark Souls 3 is one of those games that was fairly successful, and Elden Ring is 100% gonna like pass like Dark Souls 3. Like it's gonna be even more successful. And so I'm expecting a lot in terms of support for Elden Ring, because when you have a game that's like a money maker like that, you want to do everything right to make it last as long as possible. I actually win that, I think, but we're gonna make sure we win that even more with some armor. It's a bit too early. Thought he would attack there. I keep locking onto those. I wanted the yellow there. Yellow is laggy as well. Like a lot of people left playing this game. He returned home. What a great player. Oh, we're changing strat here. We're running.